Hello out there, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. Well, a couple of things I want to mention that I've been working on the ProgHat channel. One thing, the hat. A couple of other things is I have worked on my channel description, so if you get a chance, go and please check it out. Talk a little bit more about myself. I worked on some of the lighting, so hopefully that helps. And somewhere down the line, I'm not sure, I am working on getting a new microphone. So I apologize that sometimes my videos don't have the best audio quality, and that's because I have old devices. I have an old phone. This laptop is getting really old, and don't know when I'm going to replace it. So with that being said, I'm doing a video, and in my video today, it is my 10 favorite prog rock albums, and they are in a ranking from 10 to 1, so we'll begin at 10. So, and before I even start to show the records, I just want to mention a few things that how much these albums, these groups, have impacted my life and brought such wonderful, great music that I love. Even though I listen to a lot of classic rock, classic prog bands, you know, like Yes, Genesis, King Crimson, and Rush. I used to think that's where prog rock stopped, but no. When I came and joined the vinyl community, that's where a little bit more of my knowledge of prog music expanded by watching other folks' videos, and I'm sure there's other videos that folks make that could probably expound a lot better. I mean, I know what I know, but I don't know a lot. Like, I don't know a lot of the modern prog rock bands from the probably like the late 90s up to 2000, but I've been learning about those bands by watching, honestly, the Prog Corner and some of his guests on their live stream. So with that being said, again, yeah, these albums that I'm going to show, these albums have a big place in my heart. I love prog rock music. I do have my hat in other types of music like rock, jazz, blues, punk, but my first love is prog rock. So on these records that I'm going to show, I'm going to talk about as much as I can because I want to keep this video not too long. Key tracks, some of the key elements of the music, and I might forget to do that. But I truly believe that these records have stood the test of time. There's still folks, there's still new proggers coming on board that love these records. Love these bands. These albums are always getting reissued. Now they're getting like deluxe editions with more stuff. So these albums are, you know, I don't think they're ever going to not be relevant anymore. They will be relevant. In fact, the music that these bands made surely have influenced the modern prog rock bands, with the traditional elements of electronic, complex structures, concept ideas, the classical album groups that do that symphonic sound, like the Moody Blues, Camel does it. Those bands of the modern prog rock, the newer bands, I'm sure are fans, and I know they are fans of these bands and records that I'm going to show. So let me go ahead, like I said, from 10 to 1. So at number 10, a Dutch prog rock band that I don't remember how I found out about them, but early on someone gave me this copy, and I really appreciate it. This is their album Moving Ways. This is at number 10 with me. I love this record. It is it's really mind-blowing, really amazing. And when you have a guitar player like John Ackerman that can play acoustic, electric the way he does, I mean, where could he not do a guitar solo on. I mean, he could probably even do an amazing one on Singing Happy Birthday to Me. But this whole album is so good. It has that classical influence. The key track for me on this one is on side 2. It's the whole side of Eruption. That has everything that I love about prog rock music. A little classical, some ambience, great guitar playing. There's some vocals. Sometimes just a vocal, not necessarily singing words, but just harmonizing or carrying the melody is an instrument on its own. So number 10, Moving Waves. All right, we're going to pick up the pace a little bit here. At number 9, when I first heard that song, that keyboards in this song, Point of No Return, I thought it was Yes a little bit because it had that Yes vibe into the keyboards. But this is Kansas, their album Point of No Return, released in '77. This is the iconic album that had that crossover prog pop hit, Dust in the Wind, which is just such a good track. I love that the music of Kansas on this album right here just kind of takes you through a journey. The Point of No Return was one of the first songs I heard on the radio as a kid. All right, number 8. It is as they say in prog, the mighty this, the mighty that, the mighty Marillion album, Misplaced Childhood, where it began for me. This is just a really good album. I want to say, and I don't remember because I don't go read a lot of stuff, and that's the lazy side of me. I kind of slow down on reading. But this album, I think, maybe have a concept idea, but I could be wrong. But I just love this album a lot. It kind of has some similarities to Genesis. I love the vocals of Fish. And this album came out in 1985. All right. At number 7, I've said it. What else can you say about this classic here, ELP? It is just has music that's just timeless. I just love everything about it. It's folky, it's classical. I mean, what else did they not add to this album? Maybe the kitchen sink, as they say. But tunes like Take a Pebble, the pop hit Lucky Man that gets played a lot on classic rock radio. ELP's self-debut is one that's one of my favorites. Okay, at number 6, released in '74, I chose Camel Mirage. This is one of the albums that I heard a lot of the tracks where I made me become a Camel fan. Andy Lattimore, great guitarist. I'm going to say it, underrated. I really feel like he's underrated. But this album right here, key tracks from me are Free Fall, Super Twister, Lady Fantasy. I mean, the music, and how can I'll say it, but it's like it just keeps building and escalating and reaches a certain climaxes. Great record here. All right, folks, at number 5, released in 1981, and I play this record to this day. Sometimes I've listened to this record for months, and that's the truth. And I'm talking about Rush, Moving Pictures. I love this record. It's another record from beginning to end, like the rest of these records, that has a good, solid beginning and a great, solid ending. This is another one. This one begins, of course, with the big hit we all hear, and we still hear it. Now, we even hear it when we're grocery shopping. Tom Sawyer ends with Vital Signs. The other 2 tracks that are just really are great on this too is The Camera's Eye, Witch Hunt. I just love those tracks. Rush, Moving Pictures. All right, folks, number 4, what I call one of their big monster albums, especially when I first listened to that song, 21st Schizoid Man, with headphones on. It was like something I never heard, but I love it. I'm saying the album came out at number 4 for me, 1969, In the Court of a Crimson King. Just iconic. The album is iconic. The music, I love that it has that little folkiness into it and a little dreamy, and it's just a good example of progressive rock music. All right, folks. Number 3, 1971. I know y'all heard me say this before. Nursery Crime by Genesis. I love this record. It's another one, beginning to end. Such a great, another great example of progressive rock. And I would say, if someone asked me, you know, what album should I begin with, I would say this one. And then you can go from here or there. Like, I'm sure all these bands have greatest hits albums or compilation albums, but I just wouldn't start there. You know, that's just my opinion. Those are great compilations to add to your collection, but I just wouldn't recommend those just yet. I would recommend a good solid record like this one, released in 71. This is my number 2. Yes, Fragile. Ever since my mom gave it to me on cassette, blew my mind away. Love Roundabout. Love the classical parts of the music on some of these tracks. I think this album right here has been a gateway for me to listen to more classical music, honestly. And at number 1, my all-time favorite album of all time, the one that really, you know, opened the door for me, you know, the Come This Way, is when I saw this record, and it was a blind buy as a kid. My grandmother bought it. My number 1 prog rock of all time album is Dark Side of the Moon. I mean, what else can I say? I'm sure a lot of other folks can expound on this, excuse me. But this album starts off great and ends with a great impact. I mean, it's so good. I love that it even has elements of gospel music in it. But On the Run, The Great Gig in the Sky, those are just iconic tracks, as well as Money, Breathe, and Any Color You Like. All right, folks. Share with me in the comments below some of your favorite prog albums, you know, that you feel like still stand the test of time. Folks, please like and subscribe. I'm getting close to my goal. And I want to say again, thank you for taking the time watching these videos that I create and make, and we'll see you soon.